Welcome to Beers and Brawls, the show where my guests and I drink beer and talk all things wrestling. I'm your host Jared, and we are back for Season 3 of Beers and Brawls. And what a way to kick off today's episode with a massive guest. He's a massive name, not only in SA wrestling, but in Australian wrestling. He's got the biggest arms in Australian wrestling. The crazy Croatian, John E Radic.
I hope you got enough camera there to get all of it in there. John E Radic is here with Jared, and we're right here for Beers and Brawls. But tonight I'm not drinking beer, I'm drinking Southern Comfort.
Southern Comfort.
Yeah.
Well, it's the player's choice when we come on here, so thank you for joining us. I appreciate finally getting you here. It's just been a year in the works. The man himself, John E Radic. I've been chasing you, I've been trying to get you through to your manager, but it's been a hard time. But we finally got you here. We're finally sitting down. We're going to have a chat. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready for the views to hit the millions and billions of people in Adelaide will watch this.
That's all we're after. That's what we're looking for. So, how are you, Johnny? How's it been? You've been, wrestling now for 20, 30 years?
Feels like 30, but it's been 20 years. I started training in April 2001, had my first match September 14th, 2001 against Buster.
Wow, there you
Yeah.
go. Nice. And how's the body feeling at the moment?
The mornings suck,
Yeah.
the afternoons suck, and the night time sucks. But when it's go time in the ring, I feel awesome, and then after the match, it sucks.
Yeah, that's a fair call from a veteran like that. I've seen some footage lately of you running around the ring. You're moving well at the moment. It's looking good. You've been exercising over the break and
I've
stuff
been
like that.
working on my abs.
You're working on your abs?
My 54 abs that I have on here, but look, you know, I may not be able to keep up with the fast-paced wrestlers and whatnot, but when it comes down to entertaining that crowd, I think I still got it.
Yeah.
And I think I'll be around for another 20 weeks. Another 20 years. No, I'm not sure how much longer I'll be running for, but 20 years is a long time and almost 1,000 matches, I think.
Nice.
Possibly
nice.
1,000.
Well, there you go. You heard it here first. Johnny Radic, another 20 years in the business. Look out. So, a bit of a ritual we do here. We have a shot to start off.
Yeah.
Now, I've heard you brought something along.
I brought some Croatian drink. It's called the Kruškovac. The Kruškovac, it's a pear liqueur.
Jeez.
So I want you to try this.
Here we go. Well, yeah.
It's $3. It's $3 a shot. So
$3 a shot.
Yeah. So.
Well, when we got the crazy Croatian himself on here, of course we're going to have a national drink.
That's it. The Kruškovac. We'll have more of that. Alright,
Sounds
ready?
good. Easy. All right. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Let's grab it.
That is not bad.
It's good.
That is not bad. That's probably better than the stuff I was going to give you, so
Yeah, I'd say so.
appreciate that. That was really good. All right.
Got the people through the war in Croatia, mate. Oh.
Well, it's going to get us through this podcast. So, we're going to get into the first bit. It's going to be rapid fire questions. Jesus, put the weapons away.
Sorry,
Calm
man.
down,
I just
calm
thought the people want to see it.
They
the
do.
people want to see it.
I don't think the lens is big enough to get it in though. That's the problem.
Let's slide in there.
We're struggling. But so we're going to do rapid fire questions. It's 10 questions in 5 minutes.
Okay.
So I'm just going to throw some at you. Just answer them the best you can. We've gone through a couple already, but we're going to go firing through them. So we're ready. We've got the timer ready.
Yeah.
Johnny Radic, here we go. 10 and 5, and the timer is. Come on, computer. And we're on. So. Who are you? Who is Johnny Radic? Just give me a bit of a quick backstory about yourself.
Well, I'm a crazy Croatian, so obviously have a Croatian background. That being one of the smaller people in the Croatian community and in the school community and whatnot, I was always that chihuahua that would bark at the biggest dog and then cause trouble. And whether I got my ass kicked or not, I was there for it. I love to fight, I love to cause issues, and I love to make people fight, and that's all I did was bring that into the wrestling world.
Yeah.
And John E Radic, what you see out there is just maybe a little bit turned up the volume of who I am,
Of the
or
real
who
man,
I
yeah.
was
Yeah.
when I was younger and whatnot. 'Cause I love to stir stuff up.
Yep.
And I love to make people laugh, and I love to make people cry, and that's what John E Radic does. I'm out there not just to entertain, but I love to fight. I'm Croatian. That's what we do. We fight. We used to hang around in the city, and we see some Serbian people, and they'd see us, and then we brawl it out, and then after, shake hands. That was a really good fight. That was awesome, and that's just the way we were.
Nice. I like it. All right. So we touched on when you started wrestling. That was 2001. Correct?
2001.
Yep.
And yeah, so just before that, I should have started in '98, and I met with George Giglio. He's a wrestler from Victoria, an older wrestler.
Okay.
And yeah, I had all that set up. I was going to move to Victoria, and and then just as I had my bags packed in Adelaide, ready to go, he says, "Sorry, you're too small."
Oh.
He says I'm too small.
Oh no.
So I'm like, I thought my dreams were finished. And one day, I met Cole Devani and Robin Plant from the original PWSA.
Yep.
And I said, look, I'll do ring crew, I'll referee, I just want to be involved in this business. And then Cole Devani goes, I will train you.
Oh, nice.
So
nice.
went to that training facility, and I had people like Tony Stone, Steve O'Neill, Cole Devani, Man Mountain, Super Freak. Those are the 5 people
Legendary names there.
that put their effort into me and trained me. So that's how I started.
That's amazing. That's awesome. Who is your favourite wrestler and why?
Of all time,
Yeah.
I mean, Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, Hulk
Nice.
Hogan.
Got the arms matching.
Well, they're bigger than his. Just. I don't want to say. If I met him, I wouldn't say that. Because I don't want to offend him.
He's getting a bit on though in age, so
Yeah.
he might be shrinking a bit. Which famous wrestling catchphrase would you like to be yours?
The largest arms in Australian wrestling. That's not just a catchphrase, but this pose. I've heard they call the double cobras.
The double cobra.
Oh,
That is pretty famous.
But no one else uses it except for us. The only other person I ever saw use it was Jesse Ventura.
There you go.
And in an LJN wrestling figure, he'd be like this, you know, just in those big rubber figures that I used to collect. And then because I used to work as a garbo, I used to pick up the bins and put them in there, and my forearms would fucking pump out like this. So I'd always be showing people, going, look, this thing's disgusting.
Yeah.
And then that's how it started.
That's how it started. I like it. Who's your dream opponent in Australian wrestling at the moment?
At the moment, I've wrestled so many people. I mean, I've had the dream and the reality of wrestling the likes of Crackerjack,
Yeah.
Ryan Eagles, the Misfit, Mimic,
Chris Basso.
Chris Basso. Chris
yeah.
Basso. He's someone I've always wanted to wrestle, and his brother Matt.
Yeah.
Matt
Nice.
Basso. We have scuffled in rumbles and stuff like that, but it's just matches that, if I was to say, like, you know, if I've got a bucket list,
Yeah.
those guys are on the bucket list.
Basso boys, if you're watching, John E Radic wants to take you on. What's your most embarrassing moment in the ring? It's probably been many over 20 years.
Wrestling Corvid. No. No.
That's always an embarrassment call, but
That's pretty embarrassing. Most embarrassing. I don't want to name names, but there was one match I was in, and I'm sure Alex Alexson will tell you. And I'm one of those people that say, look, you know, put me in with the worst, and I'll come up with a decent match.
Yeah.
But I just, like I said, I'm not going to name names. It's terrible. But yeah, I was embarrassed after that match.
That's fair enough.
Was that Red Short? No, it wasn't.
Who's that?
No, it was someone else, and it was just, and I walked out of it the very first time going, fuck, that was bad.
Yeah, wow.
That's bad.
That must be bad. The time's running out, but because you are a very special guest, I don't want to stop it there. I want to get through some more, so we'll piss this timer off.
5 minutes off. We're here for 3-4 hours, Red Short.
Fuck that thing off. We are going to next question. What are your wrestling goals at the moment? After been doing it for 20 years.
Retirement. I can't wait. And I'm pretty sure a few people probably saying they can't wait for me to go either. They say, John, you're too old, but I'm having too much fun. But my goals are...
That's the main thing. Fun is the main thing.
Yeah, it is, and I enjoy it. It's something that I enjoy. And not to sound too political, and I'm sure that when I mentioned this before I wouldn't mention it, but yeah, it's very close to being the very last match I had could be my last match because I'm someone that doesn't believe in mandating the vaccination. So if it ends up becoming that way, we'll give it all up.
Yeah.
To not do that, and that's my decision.
That's your that's fair enough. You believe in your beliefs, and that's what you follow. Yeah.
Yeah. So my wrestling goal was to make sure that the very last match that you've seen me in, I hope I've given you something to remember me by. I want to do that. I want to do that because I don't know if it is my last. It might not necessarily be on my own terms.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I completely understand. Which wrestler in Australian wrestling would you challenge to a drinking competition?
An easy win would be Corbett, eh? Just one sniff.
One sniff and he's gone. He's been on this show before, so fans, you know all about Jonathan Corbett, eh?
Oh wow, a drinking contest. Tell you what, if it was 10 years ago, whenever after every event we'd head off to the casino, we'd be drinking and getting smashed out there.
Casino, nice.
Jag,
yeah.
We would go drink for drink at the casino, and we would end up 6-7 o'clock in the morning.
True.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure Jag is watching from Japan, and he will chome back and challenge you to a competition. Last one. Who would you wrestle drunk?
I've always wanted to wrestle drunk, but never do it. I'd never do it again. I mean, I'd never do it. But every time I had a few drinks, you think, what? You have to do it. You have to do it. But, if you ever hurt someone too badly because of having being inebriated or whatever, I couldn't do it. But I don't know. So many people.
You're both drunk, both going out, just having a bit of wrestle. What do you reckon?
I'll come back to you later.
Alright, yeah.
I'll think about it,
yeah.
and as we go, I'll come back and say, question 10 of the 5 minutes. I'll come back to you.
Stop reading the run sheets.
Yeah, but if wrestle drunk and if I don't like that person, that's a different type of question.
That's true.
Like if I don't like that guy and I'm drunk, we could acid haze.
Acid haze?
I like acid, but I'm saying, but if I could drink, I think me and acid would have a good match drunk.
Yeah, nice. I like that. Yeah, he's a crazy guy. We'll just throw one little extra one in. What's your favourite match that you've been involved in? Favourite match of yours? Yeah.
Maybe matches, but it's Crackerjack.
Crackerjack.
And it's unfortunate. I'm not sure where he's at in his wrestling career at the moment. If he's just managing whatever.
Well, last thing I saw, he's trying to go back to rookie school at MC Dub. So I don't know what's going on there. So,
but I'll tell you a quick story.
Yeah, go for it.
Wrestled in Melbourne for a Comic Con, whatever, one of those comic all nerds go to.
The geek
convention.
No offense to them.
Yeah, I don't care if I offend you. And me and Crackerjack, we had a match. And while everyone else was doing spotty stuff, whatever match we did, after the show, some lady came up to me that used to work for WWE. She was part of this thing. She used to work for one of the venues at WWE. And she came up to me and she goes, that is the closest thing I've seen to WWE type style of entertainment, whatever it was.
Yeah,
she goes, and haven't seen it in a long time. Congratulations, well done. And I was like, whatever, I don't care what you think. But no, it was. But that's the type. Just here, like I said, I've said it before. I have a professional crush on him. He's the best worker. I love him, but nothing good to say about him, but nothing bad to say about him. And he's just great. I love Crackers, and he knows that too.
Nice. Well, hopefully one day we can see one more match, you and Crackers in the ring going at it.
Yeah, I'd love to. One more.
That would be nice. Awesome. Alright, so that's rounding out the questions. As I said, you're a very special guest, so fuck the timer, we go over time. Thank you for those.
That's right. I'll catch you later, mate. No,
we're not done yet, Johnny. So we're going to go through some photos and some old footage of yourself, and we're just going to have a chat about that while you're pouring another shot here. Let's get that down, and then we'll get into those. How's that sound?
I didn't hear what you said, but yeah, we'll do that.
All right.
Whatever you say, you're the boss tonight.
Easy. Making sure not that down.
Yeah, what the piece of
Well, I hope that wasn't.
That was Christian swearing.
So we're going to start with this one right here, a show poster where we got Blue Blood versus John E Radic.
Yeah.
Give us a give us a bit of a chat about this. So,
It's at Paraka. So we're doing weekly, 3 shows a fortnight, sometimes 4 or 5.
Oh wow.
I mean, the Adelaide Open Championship, I mean, I've wrestled him probably, 20 times? I don't know. I mean, I remember I love wrestling Blue Blood. Blue Blood was cool to wrestle.
Yeah.
He definitely one of the high flyers, good charisma. But if you ask me about that specific match, if you ask me about Paraka, it's a blur, man. It's every show runs into each other.
We don't need details of like every single match, especially because you said you're running 2, 3 a fortnight. But yeah, just the way that you've changed in your appearance and look and stuff like that.
I ate less junk food. But yeah, I look back in 2000. I reckon it's about 2014.
Doesn't even have a date on it. Yeah.
About 2014, I reckon. Yeah, well, 2014.
When the internet started to exist.
That's when we started doing Paraka. And Paraka was a larger venue, similar to what RCW's got now.
Yep.
And we could fit about 110, 20 people in there, and we ran weekly. And no longer was it chuck a ring on a trailer, take it to a venue, get a ring crew to put it up, have a match like what we do now, and then put it down, take it back, put it back up. It's set.
Yeah.
And you go there, and as a performer, the best time of my life.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that.
Nice. Love it. Alright, second one here. You got Boomer.
Yeah.
Adelaide Open Championship. Look at that, John E Radic there. Short hair, no beard. Woo.
Young. Looking young.
Man.
I mean,
looking shredded as well.
I'm 28 now, alright?
You're 28 now.
Yeah. 34 or 35 there. But yeah, I wrestled Boomer so many times. I'm talking about from when he first started as a duckling, all the way up to just before he left Snake Pit, PWSA.
Is that where Boomer started in the Snake Pit? Or?
No. He started with High Risk Pro Wrestling with Blake Mitchell and then we amalgamated with them and then they kind of went to Snake Pit and he was one of the standouts. Small, but he had charisma. Well, he still has.
Yeah, well, he's the current RCW Tag Team Champion.
Yeah,
so,
Zach. So, I mean, but I always saw him, and I told him this, if I wrestled him, it was the closest thing to wrestling myself, if I could ever have a match with myself.
Yeah, nice.
Just with the way his demeanour was, especially being with the bad guy, the heel character that he was.
Yeah.
And me being the good guy, he was my perfect opponent, and there's not many guys I'm bigger than. Right?
Yeah.
And he was someone that I could actually be the bigger guy against. And look, he's gone leaps and bounds.
Mike's killing it. It's going really good.
He's always tried to better himself, and good luck to him.
And he's hit a rich vein of form at the moment, which is great. So
we've wrestled like 50 matches easy.
Oh,
I've done cage match, did a 60-minute match.
Oh, nice.
We did traded championships over and over, wrestled in front of Al Snow.
Oh wow.
So we had a match with Al Snow. We had, that's the match that we put together so we could have a match with him.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a pleasure to always wrestle with.
Yeah, nice. That's really good. Mike, if you're listening, big praise. Alright.
He's a jerk, but other than that, he's a great guy.
The man who's making some waves at the moment, Mr. Blase,
Laser.
the Power Slam wrestling. What's going on here? War Games Cup, Blase looking fit and strong there.
Well, Blase, as far as I'm concerned, is one of those wrestlers that, one of those athletes, give him a basketball,
yep,
score 3-pointers, he's good at it. Give him a cricket bat, he's one of the special, just those special people. And when it comes to wrestling, and the only problem is they never stuck around enough for it, in the mid and later stages. But he's so powerful.
Yeah.
He's so strong.
Oh,
he's so talented
with his military charisma.
Yeah, and I've always held high praise. And another guy that I always love wrestling. Always love having a match with him. And hopefully do it another time, ring rust or whatever you want to call it. But he's just one of those guys that he has that it factor. Cole Devani saw it because he started. Believe it or not, there was wrestling before me. He started before I started, and he was one of the jewels. You had the Jag, you had Steve O'Neill, and you had Blase.
Nice.
And for whatever reasons, and things happened, Blase just wasn't there for the runs that we all did. But I love wrestling.
I'm loving your little bodysuit there as well. It's looking good there, mate.
That's
a
before
nice
I wore
fit.
t-shirts to hide things. Mate.
Still with the short hair, no beard. I love it.
Yeah.
What do we got next here? Oh, the best of
Best
John E Radic. DVD. Is this a video? Or a
Oh, DVD. That's volume 1.
Volume 1.
Believe
You
it
sure that
or
wasn't VCR?
No,
Yeah.
this is beta.
Look at that.
That's a beta video.
Rocky Monero, Dragon Spawn,
Oh, Jesus.
Zen L Styles, Helllander,
Zen Lee Styles.
Blake Mitchell, Mike Boomer. Oh, and a 60-minute iron there. It
No,
is.
it's at the 60 minute. There you go.
There you go. I'm gonna fucking find that.
So what I do is I go do the best of John E Radic DVDs. I did like 6 or 7 of them.
No
and people
way.
wanted their money back because they thought it was the best of. I was like, what the hell? Alright. But yeah, like I said, I've done that many matches.
Are they still floating around? Can I get a copy
Yeah.
of them?
Oh, probably. Oh.
Fuck, I'd love to. I'd love to sit down and watch them. If you can.
What's the first match? Me versus Rocky. I reckon that's one of the first times me and Rocky had a
Go.
one-on-one match.
Your oldest match is Zen L Styles,
Zen.
05.
Zen Lee Styles. Yeah, Zen Lee Styles. He was a was that
From
05?
Holland, yeah, 05. That's your oldest match from there. And you got an 07.
Mitsubishi Center.
08. Look at that. Mitsubishi
He
Center.
might not have been from Holland, but we'll just put that in there, you know. But yeah, he was someone that just was really good at gymnastics, never liked wrestling, but he excelled, and he's been in this business for at least, he was in it for a year and a half.
Yeah, wow.
But yeah, Rocky Monero,
Rocky Monero. You got Johnny Radic wins his first Snake Pit Championship title. You're ruining the ending for everyone. I want to watch it and see what happens.
which one?
Rocky Monero.
Oh, Rocky Monero, yeah. I won a championship against Rocky. Again, Rocky's one of those guys, a lot like me. Look, I'll explain something.
He's been dodging all my fucking emails to get on the show as well.
There was a time PWSA, and then there was, you had your Jags, your Havocs, and Steve Andrews, and a lot of them were all the physical, crazy type style wrestling, right? And it was awesome. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
And then there was an influx of John E Radic, Cannonball Chris Taylor, a guy called PMAC, Kincaid, Chopper Coleman, and Rocky came before me, but Rocky's all these guys that kind of had this little bit more character and a little bit more zest, a little bit more showmanship and stuff, and it brought it changed the dynamic. Crowds dropped, but it changed the dynamic. No, but it changed the dynamic, and that's why me and Rocky have always we've had some great matches. My favourite match with him is we had it at some Italian club. But yeah, no, I love wrestling.
Yeah, nice. Well, if you can dig up any of these DVDs,
Yeah.
I'd love to. You know where the office is, the studio is. So
Yeah.
send them through, and I'd love.
Yeah,
to
I think
watch them.
we're selling them for $20, but I'll give it to you for 25, man.
No, that's a great deal. I love it. And here we go,
Best
volume
of
3.
3. We skipped
Look at
2.
the. Well, I couldn't
What's the
find
match?
it. Look at the go from a bloody old looking bloke to a young hipster looking
Yeah.
bloke with a
That's
headband.
2007.
Croatian headband on. Look at that.
Oh wow,
What
we
we
got?
got? A 4-way elimination tag team.
Don't worry about that one. That was
Don't
just
worry.
a waste to put that as
We
a
got a triple threat with Slater and Buster.
Buster, yeah.
We got Tony Stone, TJ Rush, Dragon Spawn again, Blase. We got an 04 match there. What did we have in volume 1? We had an 05. How do you get an 04 in volume 3? Where are we going with
It's
this?
because I have
Are we
a
going-
videotape library, right, of every PWSA, MPW, joint promotions, and then I have to put the videotape in. I don't know how to do this stuff, man. Other people do on computers. I did this. I pressed record on my DVD recorder and pressed play record and stop. All right, and that's how I did it. All right, I did it by myself.
Classic.
All right, but a lot of the matches, like, you gotta remember when we first wrestled in 2001 and 2002, we had 7 shows.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and didn't make every show either. 2003, we had less, you know, and then
Yeah,
2004 when we started joint promotions pro wrestling, we started doing monthly shows. It was a new thing to do, monthly shows.
Yeah.
And so 2004, 5, 6, 7, as you get to around about 7, 2008, 9, that's when it becomes, you know, a lot more matches, you know.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, for sure.
but yeah, anything that you see before 2005, they were rarities, you know, we rarely wrestled.
Did you bring these out yourself as a merchandise item, or
Yes.
did the company bring them out?
I did it myself.
That's smart. I like
And
that.
t-shirts as well. I brought t-shirts. I don't think anyone else was selling t-shirts.
Really?
Either. I doubt it. And if they did, I apologise. but I'm taking the credit for being the first, okay?
Fucking
But I brought them out. I bought, I made 50 of them and
Nice,
easily
nice.
got rid of 3 or 4 in the first year. And then, now look, they sold well. They sold
Yeah,
well.
nice,
I gave them away to some people and I used some
Yeah.
to rip.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk
you know,
Hogan,
thing.
yeah, nice.
I'm like ripping it like this, going, oh my god, it's $20! Ah! Throw it out to someone and then try and find that fan later to get my money for it. But yeah, I reckon maybe 400 or 500 shirts in that early
Wow.
from 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11 times, and then try to sell more. And they're like, we've got your shirt, John. Try something new.
Innovator, I love it. That's really good. All right, here we go. What's King John E Radic?
All right,
What's going on here?
John E Radic King. All right, and then someone goes, oh, that's J-E-R-K, jerk. You son of a bitch. All right, I won a tournament and became the king. And
Yeah,
become
nice.
the king, I became the president of Snake Pit, and then somehow I started fining everybody. I'm fining this bad guy. That was a good guy.
Okay.
Fining this bad guy, and I collected enough amount of money to go out and buy High Risk Pro Wrestling. And I bought High Risk Pro Wrestling. I'm like, what is this getting to my head? And I'm thinking, I'm the king. I'm the Snake Pit president. I own High Risk Pro Wrestling. You know what? I want to take over. I don't want to be the president of Snake Pit. I want to be the owner of Snake Pit. And then I brought up a whole big bunch of guys and made an army of High Risk Pro Wrestling, including Blake Mitchell and Cannonball and Tons of Pain and all these other guys and Hater and Kincaid, and we made a faction up and we took on Paul Roberts and we went on to a best of 7 final battle, and somehow, shit, I lost.
Oh, you had me there. That's
Yeah, I know.
it was good.
I looked
That
like I was
good.
going, like, oh yeah, we fucking won, man. Bang, shit. But it all worked out for the best.
That
because
would've
I
been a lot
probably
of-
ruined it all.
That would have been a lot of fun. I like that. Oh. And here we go, King with a bloody face.
Yeah, that's you know where John E Radic is by what show he's watching. Can you tell what show I'm binging on
I can't.
in 2014, 15?
I have no idea. Let me know.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, was that around back then?
Yeah, it was. I loved it, and then inspired by that, and that's why I love the king.
That's why you're the
Love
king.
being the king.
Do you have any of those shirts left? King Johnny Radic?
Yeah, one.
One?
I think that's the only one.
That's the only one.
There's 2. One fan wears and one I've got, and there's a rip right in the nipple, so I can't wear it anymore.
Oh,
But
shit.
see how big the arms are?
They're huge arms.
Should be bigger.
Huge arms. Here we go.
Bellows.
WB Bellows. Look at that. Loser eats dog food, man.
Alright, so
What is going on here?
I can't remember how it started. I know that he's vegetarian and he hates meat.
Okay. Alright, that's fair
And
enough.
somehow we got into it where, the loser, I ended up eating the dog food. And
You lost?
I hate pow dog food. Pow dog food is disgusting. But chum. Yeah, chum. Oh,
Yeah.
chum.
Alright.
Yeah, it's so chunky, you can carve it. And I'm not even getting paid for that advertisement. I love it.
There's no
It's
sponsorship
nice.
here on the show, so
It's nice. And
Charm
it-
if you want it. Go.
yeah, but we had Pal instead, and that's
no.
what I was a little bit miffed about. But if it was Chum, then I
You
wouldn't
would've
even
had
have
the match.
I would lose the match on purpose, because I love a free feed. But yeah, Bellows, I'll tell you right now, Bellows is one of those wrestlers that at the beginning, it took him at least 2 years, and I'm talking about Cole Devani training, not
Yeah.
other people's training, Cole Devani training, 2 years to get his first match.
Yeah.
And that 2 years, he went from, have you ever seen a giraffe give birth?
Yeah.
And then the other giraffe tries to get up?
Yeah, the baby one.
Like, that's him when he first started, Even though I was like, they're gonna make it. Since then, he's wrestling for Wrestle Rampage
Yeah, he's
now.
still going. He's still around.
And, he made tours to India and Japan.
Yeah, all over the world.
He's done more than most people have. A lot of the other people that laughed at him, and he's done so well, and I'm proud of Dave Bellows, and I'm proud. I have my mate.
Aw.
No, I'm not proud. But I'm very, very proud of Dave Bellows and everything that
You
he's
can
done.
cry on this show, mate.
I'm not crying. Johnny Radic don't cry.
But no, definitely, he's done really, really well for himself. Next one here, we got a cage match against Doc Kincaid.
Kincaid Extreme Championship. So yeah,
Extreme Championship. There you go.
PWSA Snake Pit. For the only company
That made a quick return recently, the Extreme Championship I saw.
It did?
In PWSA, yeah. Where were you?
I won it and I gave it up.
Oh.
I won it, gave it up, I was like, I don't want this crap, I want the big belt. But yeah, I mean, we had the Extreme Championship, 24/7 I believe it was.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, Kincaid and I started at the same time. And we started with Cole. He debuted either a month or months after I debuted. We've always ridden together, you know, from town to town to town, from town to town. From that, I mean, from home to training and back.
Suburb to suburb.
Suburb to suburb. And yeah, he's like, every time that we've been together, whether it be in the Empire or anything else that we've had, he's always been, if I'm Ric Flair, woo! And you know, and he's my Arn Anderson. Nice. You know what I mean? He's always that guy that is my foundation, my solid, and an underrated worker. I think people underrate him a lot.
Sure. Yeah.
But he is a solid wrestler and someone that is someone that I consider one of my closest friends.
Yeah.
Even though I don't like him.
Do you still have that singlet?
That singlet is. You want to be honest, or do you want me to tell you a lie, or do you want me to tell you the truth?
You can tell me whatever you want.
If I tell you a lie, I don't have it anymore. I sold it for about $5,000.
Okay.
If you want me to tell you the truth, is that I started learning how to do cut and paste and all that stuff. And so I cut out original singlet and then somehow green screen or whatever you want to do and put another thing in there and make it look like I've got a different singlet.
Really?
That's not real. That's not real. But that's the truth. The lie sounds better.
The lie. I'll go with the lie. $5,000.
$5,000 I made on that one.
Using cut and paste. Oh, Corbin, we spoke about the man. Look at here we go.
Alright, so I didn't think you were going to show me anything I didn't like.
What have we got here? We got.
I'll tell you something about
young Corbin and some young lady behind him.
Ava Smith. Was it Smith? No, I can't remember. Ava Jones.
Where did that come from?
Yeah. So Corvidae, I'll tell you a story about Corvidae, and I'll just see if he is alright if I tell us. Yeah, cool.
He's alright.
Alright, so
he's a good lad.
Before we were at Baraka, we had a venue at Salisbury South, small venue, and he started up with us, and I did tryouts. So you know how RCW does tryouts, you get 20 people. We always did tryouts. Sometimes we get one person, sometimes we at the gym going, fucking no one's here. Like this is bullshit, you know. So. But then he rocked up, I'm like, ugh, why can't they be big, muscular guys? It's always this! Alright? So, he comes in, and I'm like, fucking, I'm a nice guy, I'll give everyone a go. You know, I'm a loser like that. And I give him a go, and again, like I was saying about Bellows, you know, just that giraffe being born was more like a small pony being born. He was fucking, he couldn't do anything. And again, like this guy hasn't got it. He hasn't got it. And like Bellows, didn't stop, didn't quit, just fucking kept on going, and that's the shit I respect. Nice. There has been, I'm not sure if people know, but I've been training people since 2002. I started 2001, I've been training people since 2002, right? And then up until we stopped at Paraka.
Yeah.
Alright, so, and then other people have trained other people, but like I said, there were so many people that were just shit and losers and give up.
Yeah.
Just crap. I've got no time for them because the time and energy that the people that have made it put into it, they thought it'd be easy.
Yeah.
And he I think he quit. Oh, sorry, there's more to the story. He quit and then he came back. No, Corvidae. He quit, he come back, and where he is now compared to where he was, you know, I've got nothing but respect for that.
No, definitely.
He just needs to shave that fucking eyebrow there.
No, he's coming along.
Do something with it.
He's featuring RCW. He's doing really good. And we got next one here. The man himself, Hayter.
Matt Hayter.
Coffin match. I've never seen one of them live.
Well, originally it was supposed to be to make the first one cough, but because COVID was coming around, we just thought like, oh shit, if everyone coughs.
COVID was what? 10 years ago?
Yeah. Now this is about 2017, I reckon.
Yeah.
So
Hayter was a bit skinnier there, so it must be recent.
No. The baby, he's starting to lose the baby fat.
Yeah.
So I think he's about 13 or 14 here. When he first started, am I talking about this very match, or am I just talking about the person you're putting up?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Okay. So when he first started,
Let's talk about Hayter, then I want to hear about a coffin match.
Okay. Yeah. So when he first come in, young fella, there's some people that got it, some people that don't, and you can tell when they've got it. Like I said, you had a Corvette that was, shit. Pay your fees, not training. Don't pay your fees, no. You're not here, man. Just get out. But some people don't, and you could see it in him. You could see that he had something.
Yeah.
And I think he started. He was 15, maybe even younger.
Yeah.
9,
Yeah.
8 or 9 years old. I can't remember. And
he still acts like that.
yeah. So he started, and then I had his first match was against me.
Oh,
right.
Nice.
And that was at the Cheviot Road Small Shed. And I don't know what happened there, but John E Radic's opponent is it's supposed to be Brett Hayter, right? It was Brett, and the crowd's going Matt. So if it wasn't for the people not knowing that he was fucking Matt Hayter, like it was supposed to be especially Brett Hayter, and they called out Matt, it would be fucking Brett Hayter. Fucking Brett the Hitman Hayter. But it's Matt Hayter because the fans chose it for you.
There you go, Matt. Thank the fans.
It's the fans.
Do something nice for once.
Then yeah, so we had
And how did you end up in a coffin match?
That was, oh shit, I can't remember, but the whole feud was him saying, oh, I'm gonna root your wife and all this type of stuff, and then wife came in, low blowed him or something, and then we pushed him in the coffin, and I think the coffin wasn't very clean, so I wasn't happy about it. But and then they dragged him out in the coffin, and we wouldn't call it a casket match because in Australia we don't call them caskets.
Yeah, that's true. It's
a coffin match, So now these days, like I said, it'd be like first one to catch COVID. Oh. He's done. He's coughed. He's dead.
Oh, I'd love to see another coffin match one day. That'll be sick. Next one here. Here we go. Mr. Croatia himself.
I wasn't born in Croatia. Parents are born in Croatia, so
okay. Yep.
My Radic is how you pronounce my last name.
Oh, nice.
I come from a very proud country, small country. Used to be under communism, under Yugoslavia. And growing up, he's part of political movements of the Croatian Youth Liberation Movement. And we used to fight for, this is before the wars happened in the 90s, which is probably when you were born, so you probably don't remember him.
Yeah.
But Croatia was under Yugoslav communist power, and you couldn't say you're Croatian, be arrested. There was no free speech. There was none of those things that you could be. So my parents were born there and they escaped Yugoslavia at the time. They escaped Yugoslavia to come to Australia and to experience freedom and whatnot. And grew up in the Croatian community, and my blood is Croatian, but I'm Australian. I love Australia. But just that checkerboard behind you is the Croatian symbol there, red, white and blue. Very proud Croatian, very proud Australian. Love the Croatian community, love the Australian community. But that's
the heritage. I love it. That's good, man. I love it. And here with the hair starting to get a bit longer here.
Alright, so I started with hair that long.
Really?
Yeah, like that. This would be about 2009. We talk about the ropes. Same ring we're wrestling now, but those ropes, the strap-ons.
Okay.
Yeah, I love the strap-ons. Alright. So I started with long hair. The loser loses his hair match.
A hair match.
In end of 2001, cut it, went short, and I think about 2000. I'll tell you something.
Okay. Yeah.
With long hair, I picked up nothing. I thought long hair, the chicks love it, long hair, my curls, my parents, mum would always say, girls would kill to have hair like yours, because the curls, I'm like, what are they doing? But then, I wasn't getting the action. As soon as I shaved my head in that round at that time, after that, I picked up twice.
All of it.
I picked up 2 chicks,
Two
man.
chicks. Nice.
2 chicks.
It's 2 more than 0.
But yeah, no, had long hair, ended up shaving it. But the one thing I loved about the long hair, because like I said, I told you Hulk Hogan was my favourite.
Yeah.
I have a top 10 of my favourites and what I drew from. Because I grew up from a different generation from you. You guys might have grown up on the Attitude Era and all that stuff. I grew up, I started watching wrestling in '84. First match I saw was on Wide World Sports on Channel 9.
Yeah, nice.
And it was Sergeant Slaughter versus Iron Sheik. And Slaughter uses his boot to beat the shit out of Sheik. I was in love with this sport, you know? So I watched Hogan, I watched WrestleMania 1 after that because they would show WrestleMania 1.
Yeah.
And then every Tuesday and Thursday night, about 11:30, they would show Wrestling Challenge on the Tuesdays and Wrestling Superstars on Thursday nights.
Yeah.
So I watched it and you tape it. And tapes were like $8 back then. And, $8 now is 15, 20, 30 bucks now. Right?
Yeah.
So you tape stuff and you keep stuff, and then wrestling stopped being on TV again. And then you sort of watch the same stuff over and over again. There was no internet. They went to the video shops, and then from what I kept on watching over and over and over and over again, I would play, fight, obviously not shadow wrestle without other people there.
Yeah.
But learn, you just do it. Whatever I do now, I was doing then.
Yeah, sure.
And then when I came into wrestling, I brought all of that into my training, and how I punch, how I chop, how I move around and stuff. But the people that I looked up to, Bret Hart, Hulk Hogan, Roddy Piper, Mr. Wonderful. And I'm not just talking about their moves and stuff. I'm talking about like they sell. I'm talking about the way they move, the way they look at a crowd. This is before shoot interviews and the stuff. The shoot interviews now are just a beautiful information influx that they can take into. I'm interested in the stories they tell, but like when they talk about some of the stuff, why they did stuff, it's like, oh yeah, now I get it, or that's why I do this.
Yeah,
okay, right.
Yeah.
Like Hogan was always talked about when he does something, he'd look right into the crowd and make it look like he was looking at that one person and get them involved and but Ricky Steamboat.
Yeah.
Like, people don't understand wrestling from what I grew up with was wrestling for a live audience, not for television.
Yeah.
And wrestling that a lot of other people grew up with is for television, and they kind of copy that. And what I did was take what they did, because they wrestled for a live audience. Everything was bigger.
Yeah.
The selling was bigger. Everything was bigger, and they did less. And that's what I've drawn upon. I mean, it might be outdated now. I'm not sure if that's the case, but. Yeah, the 80. I don't know how we got onto this.
I don't know.
Too much cruise comments. But it was that type of wrestling of that old school that is what you see John E Radic now. Yeah. Shit, I don't know how we got onto that. I don't know cruise
Well, let's get to the next photo. We got another pose. This is a bit more recent.
I believe that is at
this looks like
Power
Slam. Yeah.
Matt Hayter at the
at Mawson Lakes.
Mawson Lakes, yeah. I
Yeah.
enjoyed that match. I enjoyed wrestling Hayter again. We did like 4 years since we last got in the ring together.
Yeah.
But
nice.
I enjoyed it.
Got the pose in, that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. As long as the t-shirt comes to life, then it's cool.
Oh shit, I better go before you. Cheers. Oh. What do we got here? Clown.
Joker.
Joker.
I think I was wrestling Twisted J and he's wearing like face paint on his face.
Yeah.
So, I think psychologically I'm trying to screw with his head, so I dressed up like the Joker. I can't remember why. I think it was just because
was it Halloween?
Because Paul Roberts kept on calling me a joke. You're a joker, Radic. You're a joke. So I thought, come out and be a joker. I can't remember if I won the match. I'd have to find out from anyone. Did I win that match? You're useless, mate.
Nah, fucking, we got some computer nerds over here and they can't tell us anything.
Shiny
I don't know why I
phones
hire
that can't read. And...
Nah, don't know why I hire these extras, I tell you. Next photo, we got a lightsaber match. Radic versus Radic.
And it just happened to be on May the 4th.
May the 4th. Oh, how did that get booked, I wonder?
Be between two Star Wars marks.
Prizes for best dressed Star Wars character.
I don't think anyone did dress up as Star Wars characters, but yeah. Oh look, that was my brother, Chris Jax L. Radic. Younger brother, 17 years younger. Both love Star Wars. The whole family's always loved Star Wars, and
The extras are telling us that you won that match.
I won the match. Of course I did. Yeah, don't work for me, brother. I'll win. I'll win.
What kind of lightsaber did you have?
I reckon I would have had. What year is it?
I'm not say.
Sure. Okay, depends on what year it was, but I do believe if it is it PWC. Okay, I would have been blue and he would have been red.
So you've been the good guy.
Of course I was.
Nice.
And I was a Jedi. Actually, we're both. Just hearing from
the extras.
The termite over here.
And you beat with
the cockroach. Like, get away, cockroach. No. I don't know why it happened, but we'll still tag team. Being May the 4th, well,
why not? Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
We're doing weekly shows.
Yeah.
Running out of ideas, man. Spice shit up.
Well, I've never seen a lightsaber.
And he come out with one of the expensive ones.
Oh, no way. Yeah.
That I bought him for Christmas or something. And I come out with one of the cheapies. And I was like, about to hit. And I go, whoa! You're not using that thing. It cost like $400. And he put it away, and then we come up with the plastic ones, and we. So he took the higher ground and went upstairs, and I'm not sure if you ever saw. Did you ever see? Never saw Bracker?
No, I never been to
Bracker had a mezzanine, and we went down the mezzanine, went back down, and that's all I remember from it. But yeah, it was fun. I've wrestled a chair, man. I've done a tag team match against a guy called Sticks and a chair. Right? Like I said, I've had 1,000 matches at least. Alright, we've done birthday parties. We've done shows where we had a birthday party and we had a show at a pub and we had guys going like this, guy, you finish this match, come here, we're going to finish the match over here. And, shit, and then, what am I trying to get to? What was the...
I don't know where you're going.
We got, we just had that many type of match up the chair. I wrestled with a guy called Sticks in a chair. I beat the shit out of Sticks. It was a broom, sorry. I tagged him with the broom. And I suplexed the broom, and I wasn't happy with the referee the way he reacted to my superplex to it. So I suplexed the broom, and then Sticks comes in like, you son of a bitch, like, bang, he moves out of the way, bang, and he's making the head broom. It didn't land over there, it happened to land on me. And 1, 2, 3, I'm like, you son of a bitch, I lost to a broom.
Oh no. No.
It's still better than that match I told you about. That was my most embarrassing match. That was not my most embarrassing match. It's actually one of my favourite matches.
This has been good. We got a live crowd over here of extras that are laughing.
You can tell what it is by that laugh. I'm telling you.
We got a cage match here. Paul Robertson, John E Radic against Matt Hayter. And we got, look at him, the young fella. Look at him, looking cocky as always.
Whatever the reason was, I can't remember what it was 2-on-1. He had issues with Paul.
He's got issues of everyone, that boy.
And it might have been the end of our feud. I can't remember. Oh, okay. One of our cockroaches is saying yes. And then ended up being and Paul pinned him. Yep. Cockroach said yes.
You got a good memory.
Yeah. This alcohol was doing me wonders, man.
The more you drink, the smarter you get, and I love it.
But I do remember the match. Again, we were the only places that had cake.
Yeah, I haven't seen cake for ages.
They don't fit in most venues.
No, that's fair enough.
Some venues they fit in, some they don't. And one thing we did at Baraka, like I said, the beauty of Baraka was that we didn't have to move. You had to move around, whatnot, and you could put the cage up and down. wasn't that much of a hassle. We didn't have to put it on a trailer, take
Yeah.
it down on a truck or whatever. And we had that match, and like I said, there are a few people that, again, you're not going to put me up against a guy like, let's say, here's a guy from Melbourne that wrestles fast. Brooksy.
Yeah.
Brooksy. Put John E Radic in a match with Brooksy, and if you go do a Brooksy match, then Johnny Radic's not gonna be like fucking, hey, what's going on next? What? Huh? What? No, don't do that. No, I'm too old. Alright? Or, and then there's wrestlers that have that character, the two characters.
Two characters colliding,
They collide, and that's where the shine is. Like I said,
Nice.
if you're wrestling me, and this is what most the wrestlers out there that have wrestled me, you're gonna do it. You're gonna go more my style of match because it'll be better if we go more your style of match, which is high, impact and whatnot. Well, it's gonna suck because you suck. No, because it's not my style.
No, I get
Yeah,
it.
not because it's not my style. Don't work for me, brother. No, let's do something. We can do something better over here.
Yeah.
Work with someone else over here and do something like that. You guys can do it, but for me, like I said, I'm in my late 50s. I'm not.
You're 28.
I was gonna say 28. Shit. I'm getting on in age, and but like I said, Hader is one of those guys. Boomer, Crackerjack, just guys that with character have already got the crowd. You already got them going, and you don't have to do much. And Hader's one of those as well, and we did that at the Power Slam show down at Mawson Lanes.
Yeah, for sure. Nice. Alright. We got a photo here. Wow, very young. I think we're just going randomly in time here.
Ruby from Victoria.
Look how young Johnny Radic is right there. Wow.
Yeah, that
Clean
is 2005.
There you go. Look at that.
Yeah, I was in my 20s. Like literally in my 20s.
We've got a real classic here.
So what we do, like I told you before, in those years between 2001 and 2000 and whatever, 4 or 5, there wasn't much going on in Adelaide. There wasn't many shows. And if you're part of PWSA and MPW joint promotions, like I said, it was once every 2 months. If you're lucky, maybe once a month. So what I'd do is I'd go to Victoria, and I would pay my way down there and wrestle there, and I would wrestle for PWA Victoria, and Lobo was my promoter down there, and I love Lobo. I got nothing but respect for him. And then I'll bring this up, and sorry to be such a jabberjaw, you shouldn't have given me drinks.
No, you're right. That's what it's all about. It's all about you.
Yeah, so I ring up and go, look, can I wrestle for you? So I'd love to. There's nothing much happening here. And Lobo goes, I'll put you up against Crackerjack. I met Crackerjack on my debut night. He started that same night, and he wasn't what he was later in 4 years' time. But I had met him before, and and then went out there and put on this match that again is one of my favourite. Like to this day, I'll say is one of my favourites. Like I can't pinpoint. Like I've done Falls Count anywhere with him, and whatnot. So went down there and it was at a show called the Dragonfly, which is a Chinese restaurant. So people eat Chinese food and we're wrestling for it. And it was an awesome crowd. It was my favourite crowd. Not necessarily wrestling fans, which is good. I love wrestling in front of wrestling fans. I love wrestling in front of that crowd that might be the Mitsubishi show, which we used to do, which is just for the Mitsubishi. Because whatever I'm doing is I'm drawing them in. It's all brand new, and they might not like wrestling. This is shit. But I'm just in that character and stuff. And and I got to wrestle Crackerjack on that show. And then from there, it was a working relationship. I ended up doing maybe 10, 12 shows. And when titles and all that shit, I mean shit to me. And belts are just whatever, right? But certain things, and like I said to you before about that lady that said to me, Crackerjack, what you did was close to
Right.
Lobo rang me up once and said, "Oh look, I'd like to bring you down to Melbourne and work with what's his name? Sorry, what's the guy's name?
That was coming out of the time.
Yeah.
The cockroaches speak.
Yeah, there's a wrestler coming out of retirement. I love him to bits, but I can't remember his name at the moment. Spike.
Spike Steel.
Spike Steel. Spike Steel. And he was worried about coming into wrestling again. And so he goes, there's a perfect opponent for you that's going to give you a match, but it's going to be in a certain way that's going to make you very comfortable.
Yeah.
And he rang me up and said, would you do a match with him? And I was like, for sure, I love to.
Yeah.
I went down there, and again, that's one of those things I put up on my wall and say, you know what?
That's really cool.
That's like a badge that I'm proud of for someone to say, look, this is a guy that you can be comfortable working with.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to expect German off, Hurricane off the top. I can do Hurricane off the top rope. You have seen me do them, yes? Yeah, you've seen me do them. I can do those things, but I prefer not to. I don't need to. And it was a terrible match. It was a very comfortable match for him to come back, and he needed that, and that was, like I said, it was just that badge going, hey, thank you, John.
Yeah.
So a lot of those types of things, outside of what people might go, oh yeah, I've won this belt, or I won this, I won that. I've got other milestones that go, I'm proud of this. Like one of the first to do a show, like you've done it before, where you wrestle at PWC and you got to drive down to RCW.
Yeah.
You've got two shows.
I don't wrestle, man. I don't know.
This guy called Wrestle or whatnot. But I wrestle for Wrestle Rampage. And drive down to
double duty.
Doing double duty. That's a badge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
In a business like that's the level that we're in. That those people that have said, you know what, not everyone gets that opportunity.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So
that's really good. I love that. Well, Johnny, that's bringing us to the end of the photos. Thank you for giving that insight there. That was really, really good. And no, you weren't jabbing on. They were awesome stories. I really appreciate you talking about them and going back into the history there. Obviously, we can't go too far back in your history because the internet didn't.
We got more time.
The internet. No, I'm talking about the photos because the internet didn't exist. Alright, so thank you for going through those photos, telling us those stories.
When was that?
Back in the
2 days ago.
It felt like a long time ago after that little pit stop. But what I'd love for you...
I have a shaved head, mate. Well, let me tell you those stories.
What I'd love for you to do now is to plug your social media, if you remember and know how to use social media. Just if you got Instagram, Facebook, whatever your name is on that. We'll have it in the links on the YouTube video, but if you'd like to plug them now, tell us all about
them. You can find me on, everyone knows I'm on Facebook. You've got John E Radic, which is the like a page. You've got John Radic, which is, if I'm not friends with you, then you're probably on that one. Then you've got another Facebook that if you're already on there, I don't need to plug it. I have MySpace.
MySpace, is that still around?
Yeah. No one looks at it, but it's on there.
Yeah, nice.
I don't have Instagram. I don't have Twitter. I'm thinking about getting on Getter.
What's Getter?
Getter is the new one, isn't it? Joe Rogan's on it. Someone's on it, but I'm used to Twitter because anything that I would write on Twitter would be censored anyway. I don't have that stuff.
No, that's fair enough. What about merch? Have you got any new merch or any
there
merch to
will
sell?
Be
or?
John E Radic shirts ready soon. Not at the next show, but I guarantee you, there'll be a lockdown by the time I've got like 20 boxes at home. Like, this is ready to go. And lockdown, you sons of bitches. We should have taken our 5th shots.
So you're definitely getting some Johnny Radic?
I think so. That'll be Johnny Radic. I might bring out those DVDs back, the best of them.
That'd be cool. I'd love to get some of those and watch them. That'd be very cool.
There's plenty of John E Radic on the YouTubes. YouTube's on the internet now.
Oh, is it?
Back when I was growing up, we didn't have YouTube on the internet. But yeah, I'm pretty sure on www.theyoutube.com, or you just type up John E Radic and there'll be a whole bunch of matches of me on there.
Yeah, for sure.
Some good, some great, some awesome. But yeah, you're looking between good and awesome. But yeah, a lot of the stuff from the last 10 years will be on there.
Yeah.
But a lot of but stuff from, like I said, I've got the library of Snake Pit, PWSA, all at home somewhere. One day I'll put they're all on the discs.
Yeah.
And you put them in the computer and you can do stuff with them and you can do that upload on the internet. I'll do that one day.
Yeah, nice.
One day.
Sounds good. Alright, as we start to wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Where
This is just the start, man.
Where will we see John E Radic next? What shows you got coming up?
Depending on when you're airing this.
Hopefully within the next couple of days.
Okay. So you'll be looking at John E Radic at the Summer Rumble, the Karadinga Sports Centre on January 15th, Saturday night. Unless the communist dictatorship government ends up putting a lockdown in because, Omicron! Ah!
What a promo.
That's a promo. I'm telling you right now.
So PWSA coming up
15th
in a week
Summer
or so.
Rumble. I beat Twisted J for the PWSA Championship. Took me 20 years to finally get it. And then obviously Brady, skid mark that he is, he said, I tell you what, Johnny Radic, if you give up the championship belt, I'll reinstate Paul Roberts and the fans. They wanted that.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I'll do it. Because I'm a people person. I'm a people person and I love the people. And I said, you know what? I'll do it. Take the belt, put it up at the Summer Rumble. Whoever wins it, and I'm sure Johnny Radic will win it. Because do you know why? Do you know why?
Why is that?
Do you want to know why? Hey, cockroaches. You want to know why?
Yes. Yeah.
Because I'm Johnny Radic, damn it! I've got the largest arms in Australian wrestling, and there's a reason why I'm the best there ever was, because John E Radic is exactly what I say I am, and that's the guy that's going to become the PWSA champion on January 15th, and also at Power Slam, January 29th. I don't know who I'm wrestling, but Power Slam, January 29th at Yulee Road Hall.
Yeah, big show power.
I'll tell you one story about Yulee Road Hall.
Yeah,
you want to hear that?
Yeah,
I'll tell you one story.
I love it.
Okay. Steve Carino. Blake Mitchell ran HRPW 2007. Brought in Steve Carino, March 2007. And a big match. Steve Carino versus Rocky Monero versus Ryan Eagles. Again, Ryan Eagles, like Cracker Jack, I believe, one of the best workers in this country ever was. And the night after, they ended up being a 6-man match.
Yeah.
They ended up supposed to be tag match. It's supposed to be Eagles and Blake Stone from Sydney versus Rocky Monero and what's his name? Steve Carino. Right? You know who Carino is, yeah?
Yeah.
He's done stuff. Anyway, so he ended up changing it to 6-man. He goes, I want to be a 6-man. He goes, no, John E Radic. He goes, put me over. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you see, sure? He goes, yeah. Because he liked what I did, right?
Yeah.
And that again, one of those things. Take your belts, do whatever you want with your belts. Do whatever you want with that, whatever. There's certain things I like to put a badge on, and that's one of those things that he said, you know what, I want him to go over on me.
Nice.
And he was like talking to me about, hey man, and it's not gonna happen, but he goes, I know King Kong Bundy, and I would love to book you against King Kong Bundy because King Kong Bundy he's a stand-up comedian, and like, he's talking all this shit in my ear, and I'm like, oh. But stuff like that again. Those are the things that I hang my hat on. Hang my hat on, and yeah, Steve Carino saying that thing about me, and there was something else he said about me that I'll mention to you another time. But yeah, it was just really cool. Those things are those that I hang my hat on. You know, I've wrestled so many people in this business. Ones I've wanted to.
Yeah.
People I've wanted to. I've had that opportunity. I've wrestled Jag. I've wrestled Havoc. I've wrestled you. Not that I wanted to, but you know, it happened. But you know, Savannah Summers is someone I've always wanted to wrestle, and for her to say to me after as well, oh, that's a tick off my bucket list.
Yeah.
And that, to me, that's like, oh wow, I'm happy. That's the stuff that I'm like, oh wow, that's nice to hear.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, Crackerjack, Ryan Eagles. I got to wrestle Ryan Eagles. Got to wrestle Steve Carino. I got to one person that I never thought I would ever liked, Blake Mitchell. I love wrestling Blake Mitchell.
Yeah.
You know, but me and him we get along. But yeah, the Rocky Monero, those guys, I couldn't have done what I've done in this business if it wasn't for the people in the business.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy from the people that put the ring up, people that put the sound on,
Yeah.
that make sure the microphones are working, the people that run the door, the canteen, all that stuff. Without them, there's no John E Radic. And you would not have a life without John E Radic, without them.
100%.
So thank them for John E Radic. Alright? But yeah, and you wouldn't have John E Radic without John E Radic.
No.
If I wasn't here, I wouldn't be here.
Exactly
But
right.
yeah, it's everywhere.
Exactly right.
From the lowest to the card to the main event. If it wasn't
Without
for
them, it
them,
wouldn't be possible.
it's nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna keep on interrupting you every time you're about to say something, but I'll let you go.
But I think that right there is a perfect way to end this interview. I really appreciate you coming on. What a way to kick off season 3. I've been wanting to get you on for a long time, and this has been an amazing chat. You know, the stuff that you're seeing on here, the stuff that's been off camera, it's just been an amazing time as he flexes up. But I really appreciate your time, John E Radic, and I love for you coming on the show.
And I appreciate my time too.
Maybe we'll do it again someday, eh?
We'll do it again for the next 20 years.
In 20 years' time, we'll do another season and we'll put you on. Sound good?
Yeah, right. Whatever.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jared. Appreciate it.
That wraps up another episode of Beers and Brawls. Massive thank you to my guest, John E Radic. And thank you for bringing on this lovely pear liqueur. It's beautiful. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the name because not Croatian is going to sound like crap. But awesome start to the season, guys. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. Keep following independent wrestling all over Australia. For those guys that can't have shows at the moment in other states, buy their merch, wrestler merch, all that sort of stuff. All the links to John E Radic's social medias will be in the YouTube page. Get to the shows here in SA, support him, support all the other guys, and of course, have a beer and enjoy yourself. Thank you.